You ever found yourself playing the 1980s Namco classic, Galaga, and found yourself thinking, wow, that ship sure does look submissive and breedable? No? Well, too bad, because clearly someone was, and on July 18th, 2013 at San Diego Comic-Con, a funky little game called NAMCO HIGH was announced. Honestly, surprised to have found a shockingly low amount of content covering this game, the most recent and prolific of which was Jade Animation's playing through it a year ago. But don't worry, I got you covered. NAMCO HIGH was a game developed by ShiftyLook, a game where you play as a funky little Katamari man, brackets, fuck, I just actually physically pronounced the word brackets. A game where you play as a funky little Katamari man, specifically the cousin of the prince, attending Namco High School in a visual novel dating sim, featuring a wide plethora of characters from Namco's greatest hits. Heavy hitters like Lolo from Klonoa, Galaga Ship from, well, Galaga, and Meowki from Mappy. They had a Donko from Taiko, the fucking protagonist from Time Crisis, and okay, who the fuck is Anti-Bravo Man? You are lying to me, this is not a real character. Now, NAMCO HIGH focused entirely on older Namco IPs. Sorry, Kazuya Tekken, too famous for this one. Mainly because of the studio behind it. ShiftyLook, the subsidiary owned by Bandai Namco, was founded March 9th, 2012. Their purpose? Revitalize and revive older Namco IPs in order to bring about some type of Namco renaissance. Their first port of call was to create a series of webcomics for a number of these older IPs, including those previously mentioned, but many others like Sky Kid, Xevious, Rocket Fox, Alien Confidential, and a shit ton more. Though, speaking of webcomics, NAMCO HIGH also had some other characters, not necessarily Namco characters, but more of a carryover, gift, curse from the creative director. Let's talk about Andrew Hussie. The Huss Lord, I am never saying that again, Jesus Christ, was the assigned creative director of NAMCO HIGH. If this name is ringing any bells for you, then firstly, I'm sorry, and secondly, it's probably because you have heard of a funny webcomic he made, Homestuck. While this isn't the part where this video reveals itself to be a Homestuck video, that's later down the line, it is the part where I come clean. I was at one point in my life an avid Homestuck fan, and the aforementioned infamous webcomic is the only reason I came to know about NAMCO HIGH. You see, the big man Andrew decided to include 3 characters from Homestuck in NAMCO HIGH. These 3. And this would probably prove to be the big decision maker for a lot of the fans that played this game. Context, Homestuck was entering its first major hiatus, running from October 2013 to October 2014. Previous pauses had been at most 2 months, so a lot of readers were desperate for new content, and along comes NAMCO HIGH in December. It was the perfect storm. Anyway, what was NAMCO HIGH even like? Well, envision your standard visual novel experience, but with Namco characters obscure and prolific alike, with a few bonuses, and you pretty much have it. The soundtrack was cutesy, the writing was alright, it was a fun type of experience. I think. It's been a long time since I last played it. Hold on. Alright, done. And okay, wow, that was actually a lot better than I remember. The first thing that grabs me about NAMCO HIGH is definitely the music. It definitely screams visual novel and how it sounds, but there's something that makes it sound very unique to me, almost nostalgic. I'm no VN connoisseur by any means, but the music is just very charming. Anyway, plot of the game is as follows. You play as Cousin, who has been put into detention for rolling things a la Katamari in the schoolyard. There are 15 Namco students in detention with you, in addition to 3 Homestuck characters, presenting a total of 18 different routes. You can talk to as many or as little as you like. On my initial playthrough, I focused wholeheartedly on Dave Sprite, as he was the character that I remember the most when I played it years ago. In order to get out of detention, you must join a school club, each character being in their own club. Each day you'll be prompted to interact with various characters. Pac-Man gets kidnapped on the last day, and you can team up with one of the other students in detention in order to save him from evil NAMCO HIGH. I'm not joking, that's actually the name of the school. Depending on how far you've progressed with that character socially, you'll be given a nifty little graphic for their true ending, and that's it. All in all, it probably only takes about half an hour to complete a route, and that's provided you're actually reading dialogue like I was. If you're there for pretty pictures, ShiftyLook included the handy I don't care and I didn't ask fast forward button. So, yeah, when the game's cast is introduced right at the start, the clash in art style is a bit jarring. There's no uniform style to any of them. Some characters are illustrated faithfully to their original game, and other characters are illustrated according to how they're designed in ShiftyLook webcomics. The writing of NAMCO HIGH honestly caught me off guard. Somewhere along the way, I think I'd shelved it in my mind as some cringe, fanfiction-esque narrative that'd be a slog to get through again, but I was honestly pleasantly surprised. Characters are written pretty well, and for the most part, pretty entertaining throughout their routes. Dave Sprite, for example, has this constant meta commentary going on. He's aware it's a game, and he is offering you, the player, the quickest route to the good ending. Cousin's thoughts are presented to the player in brackets, which is pretty standard for visual novel protagonists. But when Dave Sprite says, hey, I can put my dialogue in brackets too, cool, right? And Cousin is just stood there like, why are you just staring at me? Honestly, a well-written gag that had me giggling like a little schoolgirl a couple of times. And Galaga's route was, oh man, Galaga's route was, okay, hold on. Okay, Galaga Ship is really obsessed with Romeo and Juliet, lives in a Romeo and Juliet style villa with its 100% normal parents, and is tired of being objectified for its beautiful hull. It's upset to have been given the role of Juliet in the school play without even auditioning, and believes that everyone just wants to be friends with it for being a beautiful ship. Pac-Man gets captured, and so Galaga Ship, now understanding that their beautiful hull is only a part of what makes them, fights together with Cousin, who chose to fight with Galaga Ship because it's a fucking spaceship with lasers and shit, to rescue him. The end. This game is a fever dream, and I cannot recommend that you play this enough. Honestly, as far as visual novels go, it was a charming experience. I wonder what ShiftyLook has been up to in the intervening year. Oh. So, ShiftyLook was, unfortunately, shut down September 30th, 2014, which is a huge shame. While they'd started with webcomics, they'd go on to produce not only NAMCO HIGH, but other playable games, webtoons, anime music, and even graphic novels. They were renowned to have frequent merch giveaways, as well as major booth presences at conventions and exhibitions. The amount of marketing that Bandai Namco were putting behind ShiftyLook was huge. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, ShiftyLook only really saw success in bringing attention to 3 older IPs, with others seemingly remaining in obscurity. In March 2014, just less than 3 months after the release of NAMCO HIGH, ShiftyLook announced that their site would no longer be updated as of the 20th, and by the end of September that year, ShiftyLook would be shut down entirely, along with the mobile games, their YouTube channel, and other digital merchandise. Despite this seemingly depressing fizzling out, the CEO who announced the closure of the studio, Casey Casoni, believed that ShiftyLook's brief time operating was one of success, saying they had battled the video game's abyss and won. Furthermore, Matt Moylan, CEO for Udon Entertainment, the company that published hardcover books for ShiftyLook, as well as a writer for 300 strips of Bravo Man, has said that his time working with ShiftyLook was one of the most creatively rewarding experiences he has ever had in comics. You can still access ShiftyLook's website today, though only via the Wayback Machine, and thankfully most of what was produced by ShiftyLook has been archived by fans. Their webcomics and animations are still around for you to find, and NAMCO HIGH has been preserved in its entirety too. Their mobile games, not so much. ShiftyLook released 2 mobile titles, Bravo Man Binge a Bash and Wonder Momo Typhoon Booster, published August 2013 and March 2014 respectively. These games were fairly simple. The former was an auto-scroller game where you had to jump obstacles and tap enemies in a Mega Man X type world, while the latter was a platformer beat-em-up type game. Unfortunately, the service for Bravo Man went down with ShiftyLook, and so not only can you not download the game anymore, but even if you managed to find it on an older device, you still wouldn't be able to play it. The situation for Wonder Momo is better, marginally, in the sense that it doesn't seem to require connection to ShiftyLook servers to play. However, the game isn't available on the App Store anymore. You can still find the Android APK and the relevant files on archive.org, but according to the Lost Media Wiki, it's unconfirmed if it still works. Damn. And that's not even addressing the big one. The completely cancelled title ShiftyLook were working on, Dig Dug Burst of Adventure. Seriously, I can't find anything for this game besides a few scraps of info here and there and a few mentions on the wiki pages. I know it was in development and clearly there must have been something shown off to the public, given that there's a whole GameFAQs page dedicated to it and all, but I genuinely can't find anything to do with it. How far into development did it get before the closure of ShiftyLook? Maybe we'll never know. Shortly after releasing this video, I'll have made an article on the Lost Media Wiki for Dig Dug Burst of Adventure, so if you have any information on the title, please drop it there or let me know. I'd love to know of what became of what might have been the studio's last project. And that was ShiftyLook, the minds behind NAMCO HIGH, the game where you can romance the Galaga ship. I didn't really expect this video to go as far as it did, but I feel like I stumbled into a bit of a rabbit hole, and I got super invested in it. I honestly just wanted to make a silly video about a game I remember from when I was 14. Thanks so much for watching. I'm working on a few other videos right now, and I'm hoping to get a more regular upload schedule going for this year. If you fancy subbing, that'd be great. Otherwise, have a great 2023, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.